CTE Master Series, Video 2, Half Ball Education. The material that I'm going to present to you in this section, the Half Ball Education section, will go down in pool history as having changed the way that our game is being taught. In 2005, I was in this very room on the phone with Hal Houle, and he shared with me that he had interviewed a few dozen pool instructors and that they were all teaching the game incorrectly. He said, they're all teaching the game the wrong way. Well, I knew that I was included in that number as well. So immediately, that was the beginning of my mission. At that moment, I wanted to know what he knew that I did not know. I wanted to know what he knew that instructors around the world did not know. Many years ago, Hal Houle stated that the top 200 pool players, the elite players of the world, were all using his system. Well, he did not mean that the top 200 pool players in the world were consciously, with knowledge about what they were doing, using centered edge aim. That's not what he meant. But what he meant was they were doing something that he knew they were doing that they didn't know, unless he had perhaps shared it with a few of them. That's debatable. But he knew something that they didn't know. You see, Hal spent about 10 years in his basement and out and about studying cue ball, object ball relationships on a 2-by-1 table. He had observed professional players. He knew that they were not doing what the conventional instruction was. So he basically reverse engineered what it was that the pros were doing. Now, it took him 10 years. He shared this with me. It took him 10 years to reverse engineer it. But he came to understand something about what they were doing that they didn't know they were doing. So, we're going to wrap this video up here pretty quick. The first point that I want to make here, and I'm going to have to build a foundation here before we get into the meat and potatoes, which won't be long. But what Hal knew that the professional players were not doing was moving straight in to center cue ball with their nose behind center. For example, I have a slight left cut set up here, and then I have a line here that indicates the ghost ball. Now, what Hal would share with me and share with others was that professional players do not put their nose behind center and move straight in on that line. Think about it. Ghost balls are invisible. There's a zillion possible shots on this table. Not for one moment is a professional player going to play an 8-hour match and shoot several hundred balls, and every time they're going to be moving in to center cue ball with their nose directly behind the ghost ball line. You can't observe that. Hal didn't observe it. So they were doing something else. So we're going to discuss that in the next video. Thank you.